Welcome back. Week 4 is officially almost done, and I'm getting my submission in last minute. But the submission was for everybody had to do a build and ship on an AI-powered project that surfaces insights from real-world information. Something very simple, kind of cuts out all the clutter and the jitter and noise and distills it into something simple, something unmistakable, something easy to understand. So that took me a while I think it was like Wednesday before I finally figured out what I wanted to do. And I have a lot to say about it, but I'm trying to think about where to start. I guess visuals. Let's just share the screen as a background. I'm going to put myself down here. Sorry. And share sound and share. Maybe. There we go. All right. So the main problem was I didn't really know what I wanted. And so I didn't have like a good project requirements document to make. I had a very loose understanding. And so I just kind of like used GPT to just spitball back and forth and get some ideas and do some renderings. And I'm visual, so renderings help me. But and it helped me dial it in a little bit. And I kind of really I discovered this final solution along the way. I was making last minute decisions all the way up until the end. So I think that really bit me. I think if I would have known what I wanted, this would have been done super quick, but I didn't. And I think it was no, it was Jake's. Jake's submission was just awesome. I kind of borrowed an idea. He used ElevenLabs to do voice, text to speech. And so I looked into that. So that was his idea, and that was extremely cool. And I was like, man, I got to try this. So got it working. And I think for the most part, the AI integrations, um, service integrations were really easy to do because it was just there's documentation and it would just do it. So I guess let's kind of go through the README here. Like, what is this? So this is I didn't put any screenshots on this because it's an experience. You're supposed to go through it. I wanted it to be like, not spoilers, but I guess it doesn't matter. I'm making a YouTube video about it. So, uh, the artifact, that's what I called it. And the artifact is an immersive interactive signal detector for the AI ecosystem. It scans GitHub, I don't even know how to say that, Hugging Face and X.com in real time, analyzes developments and summarizes three different times. We'll get through that. And scores their anomaly potential, synthesizes a spoken narrative via ElevenLabs, and delivers it all through an atmospheric single page experience. Yay. So, what does it do? If we kind of go through this, I'll read it a little bit, but it fetches signals. Let's do this. It, on a 24-hour interval, it fetches signals, so like 10 GitHub posts or repos that are recent and popular and have to do with AI. Same for this site. And then I don't know how to say that. Hugging Face, it'll look for models and things. But I'll show you the queries. And then X, all AI related. And then it it pulls those and then it sends it to OpenAI for interpretation. Like, hey, score all these in these fields in these classifications, and then cache them all because I don't want to be hitting their sites all the time. And then summarize them into three paragraph narratives. So take that big JSON document that's kind of classified it, and let's distill that into a three paragraph narrative, and then let's send that over to ElevenLabs. Now, this is the interesting thing. ElevenLabs has I was like, oh, that'd be cool if they could do like a web VTT. An 11 Labs site. Let's see if I have it. 11 Labs API. Let's see. This was super helpful. This thing right here, this was like the most helpful agent I've ever seen. But I was asking it technical things. I was like, oh, MP4s have a web VTT. I'd really like to have timings per word so that I can have things happen in my program. And it's like, oh yeah, you just need this API, and it doesn't spit timings back per word. It does it per character. And I was like, well, why? It's like, well, in case you ever want to highlight a single letter, it's the best granularity. If you want to just highlight a word or something, then you can, write a program to break that up. And I was like, that's a great idea. Okay. So I was thinking, that'd be neat. What can we do with that? So I had it come up with this. I'm still bouncing around here. Oh well, we'll just keep going down this rabbit hole since we're here. Server, sorry, it's late. This organization of the file structure definitely got away from me, but oh well. Services, utils. So I asked it, I said, hey, we need to break this apart into chunks from the timing document. So this actually spits that out, and it'll say like this character occurs at this many seconds and milliseconds and whatnot. I guess I could close that. And it's really interesting because it allows us to time things on the screen with the speech. So this just breaks it all up. I asked Claude to do it. It made it as it always does. I'm going to keep this up to make sure. And then public URLs back to the front end and audio playback. So let's see. 11 Labs. 11 Labs is pretty cool. Um, text to speech, text to speech with timestamps. So that was it. And it returns. You can do these models. Some models are for real time. And others are for like, well, if you just need an MP3, just do this. And I was like, I don't need real time. I'm gonna like cache these, pre-process these with a timer trigger function app and write them all to blob storage, and then that'll happen once every 24 hours. So 11 Labs did allow me to create my own voice. Not me, but like I got a really good prompt for about what I wanted and played around with a few. It's not perfect, but hey, it was a custom voice and it got pretty close. And you pass that in with an 11 Labs voice key. So that was cool. So yeah, so we've got the 11 Labs, um, GitHub, Hugging Face, OpenAI. This is the interesting part. So the system prompt, I forget which order these go in, but I kind of worked on these, but you're the artifact, an ancient instrument that detects disturbances, blah blah blah. AI related signals. So field one, we're going to classify these articles by interpretation, novelty, momentum, and depth. And depth is like something right here, breakthrough, like earth shattering, where eight is serious research, and you can kind of see this. And I never actually expose these into the user interface. These are all just used to score and send back to GPT again later to classify after it massages. So it writes this big document, which I'll show you um, maybe if I can find it, but. And then it classifies it and it says, all right, now you're going to classify these into classification. So it takes chunks and it fragments them and it says, don't over fragment them. And you can kind of see it gives each one a title. So I'm breaking up sections of all of these into classifications with labels and texts. So that I can show a section highlight while the audio is playing. and not every single word. And then finally, I come in here and I say, all right, now that you've segmented all that, I'm probably doing this the wrong way and backwards. Do not vilify. I apologize. I am so tired. Do not invent. This is, I think, the last one. Yeah, this is the one that creates the three paragraph article. I apologize. And then it goes to the classifier. So it breaks up that three paragraph article, which has the timings. So it sends that three paragraph article over to ElevenLabs. We get the MP3, we get the audio JSON file back with the timings and all the words. And that's when it sends this with the timings, um, which is this document, but without all the classific timings written to them. So then it goes, this would be a lot easier if I had the stinking, let's see, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. It's going to be way easier. Classifications. There we go. And let's see the report and the narrative, perhaps, and the audio. All right. This is easier to talk about. I apologize. So the classifications look like this when we get it back, and these are null. So that's why we take the audio from ElevenLabs and we sync it up. So we take all this, here are all the words, and all those words are in this narrative that we got back. And so the C sharp just splits it up and then adds, all right, it classified the first chunk of it as emergence of AI coding agents, and that lasts from 0 to 43 seconds. And the parser for that, I just asked for it. And it did it. And I could have done it, but it did it way faster. Here's like all the research. So it kind of like distills all this into, you can see these are from like different, that's from X, anomaly index, all this stuff. So it's pretty cool. It does a lot of research and it classifies it and makes something unique. Um, and it's all orchestrated because I was like trying to figure it out in real time, like how I wanted to do this. I kind of ended up with it's still a little messy, but not too bad. Run flow, and it just orchestrates things here. I would, if I spent more time, I would make it like the builder pattern and chain it all and just make it a lot nicer. But you know what? This is nobody's ever touching this code again after this YouTube video is done. So, uh, cool. I think that's the technical of it. These the JavaScript was written purely. Man, let's just run it. Let's run it. Okay. This is the experience. I'm sharing the sound. I apologize if it's way louder than I am. I tried to make it like this story, something simple. And this is skippable. So the first thing, and I can't hear it. There we go. Maybe you can hear it. I'll turn it up loud for a sec. So in case this is way louder, I'm just going to mute it. This wind is being generated right here. I said, hey, let's generate some wind. I saw that either Jake or Miles in their previous submission had actually, it might have been Evan, were generating sound effects and things like that. Just through code and through the audio buffer that you get access to in the browser now. So I said, let's do that. So I just asked it, make wind, and it's like, oh yeah, obviously we're gonna do a simple Voss McCartney-ish pink noise approximation. I knew that. Of course, do that. Um, and to start the wind, it's got a, filter to shape the wind, so it does a high pass about 80 hertz. Is that what I'm looking at? And 500 is the whoosh center. That's pretty low. It's got to be higher than that. We're creating an oscillator, an LFO, frequency range, modulated. But anyway, it does all this. Look, it has this random gust scheduler. I love this. It's pretty cool. So what we did is I said, hey, I want this to have some dust particles, some sand, so you can see them going across the screen. But you notice how they're in parallax, kind of they're stuttering. Um, it's doing all that part, but I said, sync your speed with the wind volume. And so I had to make some tools to visualize that. I had to do it, but and so the wind actually pushes the sand. I don't know if you can hear it. So now it's going really fast. Now it slows down. Little gust. So it's cool. All right. So let's go investigate this thing. What is this out here in the desert shining? So it's like this futuristic cube of like ancient artifact buried in the desert, and it's just been uncovered by the wind, and looks a little bit lifeless here. So let's see if we can't find something. Oh, look, our hand changes. This is like an old point and click adventure. Oh, it's turning on. This is cool. This is cool. All right, let's scan for signals.
The scan has identified the POET-X framework as the most significant advancement in the realm of large language model training.
Sorry if this is super loud.
This framework, which employs reparameterized orthogonal equivalence training, stands out due to its potential to enhance the efficiency and stability of training processes for large language models. The use of orthogonal transformations in optimizing weight matrices is a pivotal development that could reshape the model training
So
landscape, addressing long.
I'm gonna mute it because I don't know if it's blasting this out. Actually, I'm going
This
to
tool
play that so
shifts
we
the
can still see.
evaluation
This
focus for large
visualization is
language
really
models
cool.
from
I
mere
just
task-level
said, hey, I
inputs
want a
to deeper
visualization. I want an
understanding of
FFT, but
reasoning
I've already done
capabilities.
frequency bands,
Distinguishing
do
genuine reasoning
something
from pattern
futuristic and cool
recognition,
that fits the
X-ray
motif.
offers a
And it
more
just did
refined
this.
approach
That's
to
it.
assessing
I didn't
layered
ask it to make a
cognitive
ring. I
processes.
didn't ask it to make it
Similarly,
distort and also
recursive
highlight
inference
color,
machines
but I did ask it to make it
signal highlights
dim so that it
emerging with
didn't
traditional inference
distract from
techniques with
these
neural
titles. So
architectures,
th
enhancing the
this
ability of
is
AI systems to solve
showing,
complex
let's see
problems.
right here,
Both signals share a novelty score of 8,
emerging
indicating
evaluation tool. Oh,
significant
this is a
advancements in
different
their
one. That's
respective
why
areas.
I'm in today.
Overall, the scan suggests a vibrant evolution within the AI
Classifications.
field, characterized by innovative training
Should open
methodologies and
in a
enhanced
second.
evaluation
So yeah, right
systems.
here.
The
So it'll
emergence
show
of
this
frameworks like
classification
POET-X and
header when
tools
this
such as
text is being
XRIV,
read.
recursive inference
And it
machines
knows to do
reflects a
that
growing
by
recognition
the
of the need
seconds
for
that
efficiency and
Eleven
transparency
Labs
in
gave me.
AI
So it's really
systems.
cool.
These
What I
developments
wanted
may
to
lead to
do,
more
and I just didn't have
sophisticated
time to do it, but I
interactions
thought,
and
this would
capabilities,
be so
ultimately
easy
shaping the
to
future of AI
ask
applications across
GPT, like,
various
hey,
domains.
here is here's all your text. Here's a little rag context for um, the color scheme and the motif. Please render a tiny thumbnail. And I thought about like actually having it where this little cool preloader that I had it do, um,
The
as it's
scan has
reading these. So right
identified the
here,
POET-X
as it
framework as the most significant
goes to the
advancement
next
in the
one,
realm
having
of
them
large
animate
language model training.
into like a small little bullet
This
point, have like a
framework, which
little
employs
icon, or maybe just show an
reparameterized
icon here.
orthogonal equivalence training,
Definitely within
stands out
reach.
due to its
Just
potential to
it,
enhance the
I'm at the end of
efficiency and
it,
stability
but
of training
it's really
processes for
fun.
large language models.
Let's
The
see. I
use of
added in
anomaly
like an archival
transformations to
thing. I was
optimize
gonna
array
put
matrices is a pivotal
button arrows
development
like
that could
left, right,
reshape the
like
model
meaning go
training
forward a day,
landscape,
go backward a
addressing
day. But I
long-standing
thought I'm just
challenges
gonna
in the
put it in
field with a
here so
high novelty score of
you
8.
can
In
figure it
addition to
out.
Poet
But
X, the X-ray system has emerged as
7. So like if I have it in here, it just jumps straight to it. And then I can play today and tomorrow. And tomorrow at midnight there'll be one for the
the
ninth.
most
I should get
significant
an
finding in
error
the scan.
because that doesn't exist yet. Yep, error, retry. And all the retrying in the world won't get it because it doesn't exist.
The scan
So
has
yeah,
identified the Poet
that's
X
it.
framework as the
The
most
UI was
significant
really fun.
advancement
I
in the
worked a
realm of
lot
large language model training.
um,
This
with
framework, which
GPT.
employs
It rendered all
reparameterized
these.
orthogonal
I had
equivalence
this
training,
little OG
stands out due to
image
its
that it
potential to
made.
enhance the
I was trying
efficiency
to,
and
man, I
stability
was
of
trying to
training
work with this
processes for
face.
large
This
language
thing was so
models.
cool.
The use of
This was
orthogonal
just a rendered
transformations to
image, but I
optimize
wanted to
array
have it like
matrices
move and
is a
talk
pivotal
like an
development
avatar.
that could
I actually
reshape the
got
model training
GPT to
landscape, addressing
5.4
long-standing
to
challenges in
render
the
a
field with a
WebGL
high novelty
version of
score of
this
8.
that
In
maps from
addition to
my
Poet
actual
X,
face
the
from the
X-ray
camera.
system has emerged
Um,
as
and
another
it
notable
worked. It just,
success.
and it
This
was like
tool
60
shifted
frames a second.
evaluation
I
focus
was
from
blown
large
away. I'm
language
like,
models
this is
from
nuts.
mere task-level accuracy to a
Um,
deeper understanding of
this was
reasoning
the original,
capabilities.
and I really wanted to
By
use this,
distinguishing
but
genuine
I couldn't.
reasoning from
It just
pattern
didn't work
recognition,
out.
X-ray
I was
offers a
trying to
more
rotate
refined
it, and I
approach
thought,
to assessing
no, I need to
memory and
like walk
cognitive
through the desert.
processes.
And
Similarly,
that's kind of why I
immersive
went with this because it reminded me of more of the old point and click adventure. You get the experience. You click it, this thing turns on. So literally, I photoshopped it. It made this for me. And I photoshopped that to just kind of make it look like I'm off, and it's just crossfading. It's pretty wasteful, but it works. Um, let's see, signals, UI, trying to think. It did all the UI. I just said, don't do a framework. Just do it all native and compartmentalize everything into their own JavaScript files. And it was pretty easy. Like I just asked it things and it would do it. Very, very pleasant, but I think the another pitfall is that I didn't do this in Vercel, and I didn't do it in Vercel because I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't want to burn through my credits. I noticed that Vercel tends to burn through credits very easily if you don't know what you want. So that's why I did it locally. The pitfall there was that Vercel is so easy to just click a button and deploy. It is delightful. And I was on the hook for my own infrastructure. So I had to make a bicep file. Um, and yeah, and let's see. I had it make me deployment scripts and deployment scripts for the front end and back end. And literally, I just asked for them. I said, I'm going to use these ECLI. I want one for infrastructure. I want one for the app. And do it. And it worked. And I was like, oh, that was delightful. I have my own CI/CD here on my machine. I don't have to mess around with um, build pipelines because those are fun. But I do that during the day. I don't want to do that at night. Anyway, I think that's it. It was really fun. Thanks to Eric for pushing us really hard on all these. I there's no way any of these would exist, and I'd have way less experience and knowledge and understanding. So I've learned from everybody. Evan, Jake, Miles, and Eric. It's been awesome and really appreciated it. Thanks for letting me do this. All right, I'm gonna post this and go to bed. Good night.